Okay, so the claim I'm responding to today is that late-term abortion is murder. So my response is that she failed to provide enough evidence to prove or support her claims. So my opponent's secondary claims were that 1, the child inside the mother's womb is not their body. 2, the health risks aren't defined. And 3, delivering the baby is the safest option when the mother's health is at risk. So the opponent's second and third claims weren't explicitly stated, so that was the first issue. And it was also not clear whether or not the opponent believes that all abortion circumstances are wrong or only late-term abortions after the 24 weeks. So my response to the first claim, that the child inside the mother's womb is not their body, is that she used evidence from the New York Reproductive Health Act. However, she could have gone more into detail. The evidence, she states that women can have late-term abortions even after 24 weeks, but she does not state why this is wrong. In the Reproductive Health Act, it states, abortion is one of the safest medical procedures performed in the United States, which undermines her third point that delivering the baby is the safest option. The opponent's claim is clear that she believes that the child inside the mother's womb is not their body. However, there is no scientific evidence to back this claim up. Because I agree with my opponent's original claim that abortion is murder, during my research I focused on the popular slogan, "My body, my choice." Although the fetus is inside the mother's body, the fetus is not the body of the mother's. Their genetic makeup is completely different, and women don't have 4 arms, 4 legs, and 2 hearts. She makes the claim that babies are being killed and that they lack the power to defend themselves. This raises the question that she should have clarified: are the abortions being performed on a group of cells or on a human life? Scientifically, and according to the Family Research Council, when a sperm penetrates an egg, a zygote is formed, and the zygote is composed of human DNA and other human molecules, so its nature is undeniably human. Her second claim, that the health risks aren't defined, although unclear, it was that we don't define what qualifies as a health risk towards the mother. So she raises the important question and provides a compelling example, which was, is stress considered a health risk? This point is valid, but it brings up the point that where do we draw the line? However, she provides no answer to the question and little evidence to back her claim. In the Supreme Court case, Doe v. Bolton, they defined what the health of a mother abortion is. It includes all factors: physical, emotional, psychological, familial, and financial well-being, which at that rate qualifies for any reason for the entire 9 months. Although these points address the claims that she was making, the argument starts to shift to a claim of value and whether you think it's morally acceptable to perform abortions for any reason. In her last claim, that late-term abortions are not the safest option for the mother, starts to tie in with her second claim. It was difficult to differentiate between the last 2 claims. She gives an example of testimony from former abortionist Dr. Anthony Levatino, who says that delivering the baby has always been the safest thing to do. She gives a sample statistic that more than half of premature babies born at 23 to 24 weeks survive, so abortions are robbing their chance to live. But she didn't cite this source. So in conclusion, overall, my opponent's argument is underdeveloped and just needs more evidence. With this being such a controversial topic, it's important to scientifically define what's inside the womb. If the answer to that is a human life, then the argument is made easier that abortion is a murder of innocent lives.
Your speech is largely a critique of the speech instead of a response to the argument, suggesting that the advocate could have done a better job with different evidence or emphasizing the evidence in a different way. You've got a good sense of the argument at the end suggesting that there's a value claim that's really at the basis here, and it's not an issue of fact. Although I think there are factual issues on this subject, I think the advocate may have had difficulty getting to some of those issues. Although the safety of the procedure does come up as an issue, your only response to it is they don't really cite their evidence very clearly on that particular point. I'm not sure in the long run that there's any conflict on the issue. I mean, in essence, you seem to agree with the advocate's position. You just suggest that they didn't provide the kind of evidence that would be more convincing, and then you kind of suggest what some of that evidence would be, which doesn't necessarily respond to the advocate's argument, and doesn't tell us why there's a clash on these particular points. So we're back to the question of where is the dispute on this issue. I think you get to it at the end when you talk about the value argument, and that was the clearest part of your argument, the one that I think makes the most sense, where there's a little bit more clash. All right, thank you.